Dear brothers and sisters, today I bring you an extraordinary story, one that truly happened and will undoubtedly touch your hearts deeply. What if I told you that the child Jesus appeared to one of the visionaries of Fatima with an urgent message for all humanity? A message that concerns you, me, and our relationship with God. Imagine a young nun in a quiet Spanish convent, engaged in her daily duties. Life seems to follow its usual routine, but on a winter day, an encounter changes everything. A child, seemingly ordinary, approaches her and asks a question that shakes her soul. This is not just any story. This is the account of the apparition of the child Jesus to Sister Lucia dos Santos, one of the visionaries of Fatima. A supernatural message of universal importance that still speaks to our hearts and consciences today. Stay with us to uncover every detail of this extraordinary experience and its significance for the modern world. To fully understand the importance of this apparition, we must take a step back and immerse ourselves in the extraordinary context of Fatima. It was 1917 when Our Lady, with a love beyond human imagination, chose to appear to 3 young shepherd children in a remote location in Portugal. Those 3 children, Lucia dos Santos and her cousins Francisco and Jacinta Marto, were simple and innocent, yet chosen to carry a heavenly message that would shake the world. Our Lady came with a message of hope, a call for conversion, and an earnest plea to pray and do penance to save souls and console the heart of God, so grievously offended by humanity's sins. In 1917, the messages of Our Lady profoundly marked Lucia's heart, and she took up the mission entrusted to her. Among the Virgin's requests was the devotion to her Immaculate Heart, a devotion meant to be a beacon for humanity, a means to obtain peace and divine mercy. Lucia's life, however, was marked by pain and sacrifice. After the premature deaths of her beloved cousins Francisco and Jacinta, Lucia embarked on a solitary path, dedicating herself entirely to God. She entered the convent in Pontevedra, Spain, where she continued with dedication the mission she had received from Our Lady. It was in this place, on February 15, 1926, that an extraordinary event occurred, capable of moving even the hardest heart. In a moment of deep spiritual intimacy, the child Jesus appeared to Sister Lucia. It was not a casual vision, but an encounter willed by heaven to strengthen her spirit and her mission. This divine child, with disarming simplicity but with a strength only God possesses, renewed the invitation of the Heavenly Mother, urging Lucia to persevere in her task. This apparition was not just for her, but a sign for all humanity, a call to look to heaven with trust and to embrace the path of faith with a renewed heart. Sister Lucia's story is not unique. Throughout the centuries, various mystics have had extraordinary visions of the child Jesus, each accompanied by words of love and profound teachings. One famous example is Saint Anthony of Padua, who, during a moment of prayer, saw the child Jesus appear in his arms. The saint recounted how the child spoke to him with sweetness, reminding him of the importance of purity and humility in drawing closer to God. Saint Teresa of Avila, the great Carmelite mystic, also had visions of the child Jesus. One such vision occurred during Christmas when the Lord appeared to her as a radiant newborn. Jesus told her, "Come to me with the heart of a child, pure and trusting, and you will find peace." This call to simplicity and trust remains a universal teaching for all Christians. Another significant example is Padre Pio of Pietrelcina. On Christmas night, Padre Pio was seen holding the child Jesus in his arms, enveloped in a supernatural light. The saint spoke of this experience as a moment of deep consolation and a reminder of the responsibility to care for others spiritually as a father cares for his children. These apparitions share a common theme: the invitation to a more authentic love, a deeper faith, and total trust in God. The child Jesus reveals himself to mystics not only as a symbol of purity and innocence, but as a call to simplicity and a conversion of heart. Let us return to the apparition of the child Jesus to Sister Lucia and hear the profound message he left her. It was an ordinary day for Sister Lucia, immersed in the simplicity of monastic life. In the convent courtyard, while emptying a bucket of trash, a child approached her with light steps. At first, there seemed to be nothing extraordinary about him. His appearance was familiar, but nothing hinted at the event about to unfold. Sister Lucia, with a serene heart and focused on her work, did not realize that this child was the child Jesus himself. With eyes full of sweetness, the little one asked her a question that pierced the depths of her soul. "Have you spread in the world what the Mother of Heaven asked you?" The simplicity of those words revealed a depth Sister Lucia could not ignore. At that moment, a flash of awareness crossed her heart. She was in the presence of the divine child, who, with humility and firmness, reminded her of her mission. Sister Lucia, filled with humility, began to explain the difficulties she had encountered in spreading devotion to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. She felt inadequate in the face of the immense task entrusted to her. But Jesus, with a gaze that conveyed infinite love and understanding, responded with words that would remain etched in her soul. "It is true, my daughter, that many souls begin the devotion of the first Saturdays, but few bring it to completion, and those who do complete it do so to obtain the promised graces. I prefer those who do the 5 with fervor and with the intention of making reparation to the heart of your Heavenly Mother, rather than those who perform the 15 coldly and indifferently. Why is this devotion so important?" These words, full of sweetness yet profound truth, explained Jesus' burning desire, that this devotion not be lived as a mere formal act, but as an authentic gesture of love and reparation. Its significance lies in the fact that it is not about performing actions, but about placing one's heart into every act, living faith sincerely and transformatively. The apparition of the child Jesus to Sister Lucia is not just an extraordinary story. It is a powerful call that transcends time to reach our hearts today. Think about it. Jesus reminds us that sin not only wounds our souls, but also the loving heart of Mary. Yet, with every act of reparation done with sincere love, we can console that maternal heart and draw closer to God in ways that transform our lives. In a world where perseverance often seems lacking, how often do we begin with enthusiasm only to give up at the first difficulty? This is why Jesus invites us not to give up, to continue every small step with faith and fervor, knowing that every gesture, no matter how simple, has eternal value. The message the child Jesus entrusted to Sister Lucia is not confined to the past. It is current, universal, and deeply personal. It is an invitation for you and me to pray, convert, and make reparation. In our time, when materialism and indifference often draw us away from the divine, this episode urges us to rediscover hope. Today, as we approach Christmas, let the message of the child Jesus resonate in our hearts. Jesus calls us to be light in the world, to console Mary's heart, and to persevere in faith. The child Jesus asked Sister Lucia, "Have you spread in the world what the Mother of Heaven asked you?" Today, that question is addressed to us. How will we respond? If this message has touched you, share it with your loved ones and leave a comment with your reflection. Subscribe to the channel to discover more stories that illuminate faith, and don't forget to activate the notification bell. Together, let's make a difference by spreading this message of hope and love.